welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then hello, I am Kaya. Please hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't seen my face before, and check out all the videos that I've done previously. And today I am going to be talking about my experience of working in theatre and theme parks during COVID. So obviously at the minute we are all stuck in lockdown, in a pandemic, and it's been a struggle. Like, it's not been easy whatsoever, but here we are where we are, we can't do anything about it, so that is that. So if you didn't know, I currently work for two companies. One being Derby Live, which is my local theatre events company, which just so happens to be the company that my mum also works with and my stepdad. And yeah, it's always kind of been there in my childhood, and I've grown up with Derby Live and always gone to see shows and stuff like that. And yeah, I am now working with them as of about 2 years ago, and yeah, and then last year something amazing happened. So when we were down in London last year, Zoe messaged me saying that Gulliver's were looking for more people to come and join the team. Now, I've kind of always been a bit like, I don't really know whether I'd suit working in a theme park, but I thought, I'm just gonna try it and hope for the best, because you never know what's gonna happen. And I sent my CV over, and literally we had to leave early from London because the next day I was asked to go and join the team, which was so exciting. And my experience with them has been absolutely amazing, and I have loved every single minute. And this year I have been asked back. Now obviously theme parks have been provisionally told that they can potentially open on the 12th of April, and we are hoping, fingers crossed, that we will be able to open then too. Obviously we'll have our training days and whatever as well, but yeah, that is the plan. Now, as far as theatre is concerned, obviously I've been doing that for however many years I can remember, but as far as working for Derby Live, obviously that's only been a few years. Saying that, I have had a lot of different experiences, and I started working for Derby Live as box office, and then also started as front of house, which is what I mainly do now, is front of house, because at the moment I am currently working at Derby Arena as part of the vaccination centre stewards, as part of Derby Live as well, which is all very exciting. So yeah, so I started working at the box office for the ice rink that was in the marketplace, and it was all fine, and just normal Christmas, all very exciting. And then Panto came along as well, and I ended up doing front of house for it and box office, which is exciting, which is also Derby Arena, and yeah, it was fine. And then last year happened, something we didn't actually expect, funnily enough. And yeah, so we'd got all these events planned and whatever, and then Boris turned around and went, no, you've got a lockdown. So we ended up closing in March last year, and we had no events for however long, and we still haven't had any events apart from the Christmas market and the stuff in the marketplace, which is basically like a food court, but it was outside in cabins. It was all very COVID safe, and it was all very weird. So we were obviously used to just walking around, having a chat with each other, chatting to all the customers, having a laugh with them and whatever. And the first shift that I had during COVID was the beer festival, and normally the beer festival is held in, I think it's the Roundhouse, but I'm not sure, I think it's moved. But yeah, it's in a big venue with a lot of people, and they had to put capacity on on the event, which a lot of people weren't very happy about, but we kind of like did it over a few weekends, I think. And basically it was set out in the marketplace in the cabins that they'd been using for the food court, and each like group of 6 or however many in that group would have a cabin. Basically they'd come through, go left on the one-way system, go to their cabin, they were all numbered, and then they'd go in and basically they would wave a spoon. It was a wooden spoon with their number on it, and they'd wave the spoon, and then one of us would come and get that and just go, what was your order? Obviously we were all wearing masks. And then the customers were all wearing masks up until they got into the cabins, which, you know, it boggles my mind. Like, I still am not used to wearing a mask. I will sometimes forget my mask. I will, you know, I will just not wear it and forget, and a lot of people are the same, especially like when we first started working at the arena again, because obviously we were used to doing panto there. It was so weird walking in and being like, oh, I've got to wear a mask, and it was just like, so strange. But yeah, so the beer festival was a good hit for us. It was really, really good, and we really enjoyed it, and it was good fun. And that was obviously the first kind of event that I'd done since this had all started, and it was all very exciting. And then we kind of didn't do very much apart from like the weekends and stuff like that, and it wasn't a lot. And then we did the Christmas market, which had a few more rules because it was a bit more stricter as well. We weren't sure whether it was going to go ahead because we'd already had the second lockdown, which we had to cancel events for as well. We were meant to be having an outdoor theatre performance as well, which got cancelled because of COVID. So yeah, it was a bit of a, it was difficult for us because we were obviously looking forward to what was going on as well. But yeah, it was a very strange situation. And then the Christmas market was literally like pretty much the same as the beer festival, but it was a lot stricter. Like, we all had to like keep our distance. We were all like trying to work together but away from each other, and like we were all wearing the masks at all times, and like all the cabins were there and whatever, so people were sitting and people had their stalls in the cabins, and obviously we couldn't really help them at all, so if they needed anything doing we had to like wear gloves. If like it was just so strange. Like, it was such a surreal experience. It was nice because it was all like local businesses all in the cabins doing their stalls, so it was nice to see what it was about. But yeah, it was very, very strange. And then obviously we didn't have anything after that in January, and then we were asked if we could start stewarding for the arena, for the vaccination centre, and that in itself has been a very strange experience in the sense of it's so different to a normal event, but it isn't at the same time, and it's just, I love working and doing it and working for Derby Live and such like. It's so strange, like it's so different. I cannot wait until we can get back in the theatre. We were hoping to get back into the Guildhall Theatre at some point, but again, that all the works on that, because it's been shut because of maintenance and stuff. We were hoping to get back in there, and we haven't been able to get back in there for however long. And yeah, it's just been quite sad for us, and there's a lot of like, everyone who works there is all kind of like there's a family member involved or a friend involved, and it's all very like family friendly and everyone knows everyone, and it's just such a nice atmosphere and it's so nice. Like, I love working for them a lot to say the least. And I forgot to mention that box office stuff, since doing, I don't even know what my last shift was, because we moved venues as our like base, because they closed the one that we were in basically, and we moved to a different area, and I don't think I've actually been there that much. I think I've only done a few shifts there, and then that's been it. That's been closed as well, because obviously it's an indoor space, so we can't even work in there. So yeah, so I've basically been doing front of house stuff, and that's it as far as that's concerned. So yeah, it's really weird because I'd kind of forgotten about doing it, but obviously it's still always going to be there, and obviously when we reopen I'll go back to doing it, but it's just a bit like, it's been a year at least. But I think the last thing that I actually worked for box office was probably something like in January or something, or one of the last Pantos or something like that, because we weren't there for Panto last year, because, wait, what year are we in? Yeah, so last year, well, no, not last year, the year before, we were in London for Panto, and it was when it first started in the other countries and whatever, and it hadn't really come over to here, and that was that. And then we came home, and I think I had a shift just before lockdown, and that was my last box office shift. But I think that was it, and that's been over a year now. That's crazy. I didn't even realise. I'm just very thankful for the fact that I can still do the front of house stuff, where even though it's not really like the front of house stuff that we used to, it's just doing stewarding, which it's hard work, I have to say. Like, it's fun. Like, I don't mind it, but we have dealt with quite a lot of different people, and a lot of people appreciate what you're doing and are so thankful for what you're doing. Other people, however, they just don't get it, and they just like, why am I here? And like start to get like aggressive with you, and it's just like, just appreciate the fact that we are here, we are trying to save your life, you know, we are kind of just like, we are putting ourselves out there in front of this, we are putting ourselves on the front line, because, you know, we are who we are, and we're just doing it for the love of it mainly. We have now, or I have definitely already had my vaccine, which I'm very, very lucky for, because I had mine on the very first shift, so it's definitely kicked in by now, and I've got my second one on the 1st of April, I think it is. So yeah, it's all very strange, and it's all very, we have to wear masks all the time, and it's quite a warm arena, because it has to be kept at a certain temperature, because it's a velodrome, so it's got the track for the cycles around it. It has to be kept at a certain temperature, so it's quite warm in there, and I prefer being outside. I don't mind being outside at all. I'm normally in the car park, but then you get some angry people that don't want to follow the one-way system, and it's just a bit like, ugh. But yeah, that is kind of the experience that I've had as far as theatre is concerned, and who knows when it's going to reopen. Like, I really do not know, because there is just so many unknown things at the moment, and I can't really say when I'll be getting back to doing like rehearsals and stuff like that for my own shows, let alone working them. And it's just so hard, but everyone's in the same boat at the minute, so I'm not moaning too much. So yeah, moving on to theme parks. So as I said, last year I started working for Gulliver's Kingdom, which is in Matlabworth, and I started working with Zoe, and it's such a great experience, honestly. And again, those people that work there are absolutely stunning people. Like, I love them a lot. It's just so, again, family friendly, but like, it's not really like everyone knows each other. It's just the fact that we all kind of get on, and there's nobody that's like there just to spite anyone or anything like that. It's all just very nice. And yeah, so I have, well, not really had a season, well, I haven't worked there when COVID's not been a thing, so I don't really know if I could compare it, but obviously Zoe's worked there before I did, so she knows. But yeah, I started when COVID happened, and basically I went in, had to wear a mask all the time, have to wear a mask when I'm on my ride. The only time when I don't have to wear a mask is when I'm eating my lunch by myself. And yeah, basically we kind of go to the briefings, we're all socially distanced, you know, we all have to keep away from each other, and then we trek down the hill, or I do have to trek down the hill to my ride, which is Lazy River, which I love. And yeah, then I go into my little hut, I do all my checks. Again, wearing masks at all times, sanitising whenever we can. Every time a boat goes round, I have to sanitise, so if someone's been on that boat, I will sanitise it after they've left. There's only one family allowed, like, in my area at one time, because obviously close contact and all that. And yeah, it's all very, I don't want to say that it's kind of normal, in the sense that there's not really anything that I wouldn't expect to be different. Like, I kind of just think that that's all kind of normal, you know, obviously without the masks, without all the constant sanitisation, but like as far as like the one family in and whatever, and obviously all the rules of don't stand up on a ride that's a water ride because you know you might fall in, that kind of thing, that's all normal, that's all there, and it's not going to go away, because if you do that then you're going to fall in, okay, that's that. And yeah, like there's not really, I really don't know what they would do any different, apart from obviously they can't open all the indoor rides, so that would kind of be the only thing, I think. But as I say, I don't really know, because I haven't been there when it's been fully open and no COVID's been about, so I don't really know. I'd like to think that there'd be a lot more of like being able to like have a joke with people. Obviously you can, but you can't, you have to be like, no, step away from me type thing. And like if people touch like the gate and stuff like that, you have to sanitize it, you have to ask people to sanitize their hands, you have to just like make sure people are wearing masks on the rides and stuff like that, and it's all just a lot. But again, there's not that much that wouldn't be there anyway, I don't think. So yeah, I don't think there's a lot in it. There's not a lot of difference. I don't know if that's any different to any other parks, but as far as I'm concerned, I would kind of expect that anyway, and I don't mind that. I would rather have the security of knowing that there's rules kind of thing. But yeah, it's a strange experience. I am really hoping that when we go back, depending when, that I'll get to do a bit more, because I do want to go into the entertainment bit as well as doing the ride up stuff. But I just don't know if that's going to even happen, because last year we didn't even have any entertainers because we weren't allowed any because of COVID. So yeah, there's a lot of things that kind of I think have been stopped, i.e. the entertainers, the meet and greet side of it, and potentially some of like the food and beverage side of it, but again, I wouldn't really know because I've not been there. I'll probably do like an update later on in the year once everything's got back to like when we're back to work and stuff like that, and we've been there for a bit, just to see if there is a difference and see if there's anything else that I can think of that's a potential difference to what it would be normally. And then I'll probably do like a comparison of working in COVID and normality. But you know, I don't know personally if there's anything that I wouldn't expect already, which is kind of a good thing because it makes families and whatever so much easier to kind of like deal with. And then, oh, I thought another thing. Another thing that is different is the queue lines. The queue lines have like spots on them which are like 2 meter distances. So people have to stand on the spots, and that's one thing that people have been struggling with, is the fact that they don't necessarily acknowledge the spots and they kind of just like stand in a queue anyway, and it's just a bit like, you know, please stand back, please keep your distance. That is that, okay. So yeah, there isn't much else, I don't think. I don't know. But yeah, if you want to add to this and say any of your experiences, then please comment down below, because I would love to know if it's any different in anyone else working in theatre, anyone else working in theme parks, because obviously other places work differently anyway, and yeah, I'd love to know. So yeah, please let me know. I don't think there's any more I can say, because I don't really know anything else other than that. And yeah, I will do an update in the future when we get back to normal. But yeah, stay safe guys, and welcome to a new month. It is March now. Obviously we kind of hoped that everything would be open by now. It's been a year since we went into the first lockdown, which is absolutely crazy. But yeah, it's been interesting to say the least, and I think it's going to be here for a while, so don't jump into things too much, I don't think. And yeah, hopefully we'll get back to theatres and theme parks soon, and everywhere else that we would like to go to. And yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe, and check out all the links in the description. And I will see you very soon for another video or vlog. Bye!